Warning. The facts you are about to hear are based off 2 hours of researching the pros and cons of history's heroes and most controversial figures. This is Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history.
He's trying bits too. Why can't I do that? What the fuck?
You were doing crowd work.
Well, that's what I like to do, man. It feels good. Fuck.
Like, hold on a second. I'm being used here.
You know what my shit is.
Speaking of what we like to do, how about we start up the show? What we like to do here is go through the bad boys of history and find out the pros and conquerors of some of history's greatest heroes and most controversial figures. Now, today on the show, we're going all the way back to before Christ. This guy's way back in time. Today on the show, pros and conquerors, the bad boys of history, we're going to look into King David, the King David, the King of the Jews. Is he the King of the Jews?
Is he?
I'm your host, James Jam Easy Cummins. I'm here with Colin Cummings once again. Say hi, Colin.
Hello. Colin Cummings here.
And for the third time, we have a special guest, all the way from the Holy Land, Israel. Welcome to the show, Lior Cabeza.
Hello, everyone. I love the way you introduce me every time. Cabeza.
Yeah, I make him sound Spanish, but he is, in fact, one of the chosen people.
One of the chosen people.
Now, before I ask you, because you probably know way more than me and Colin initially, Colin, when I say King David, what do you know about him, like, without looking into it? What do you know about him?
I have a friend who I think he named himself after King David recently. He literally changed his name
to King David or David?
To David. For that fact, that's how much he bigs him up.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then I think he's responsible for upholding the Star of David. He's responsible.
The Star of David is see, before, when I heard David, I knew David and Goliath, the original underdog story.
Oh, and that.
I knew about that, but only a year or two ago, I realized that wasn't it for David's story. That was only a part of his story. This guy did a lot of shit. He's pretty much like the Bible's, or what's he in for Jewish books? Is he Torah? Or what's he in? What book is he in?
To be honest, I know he wrote the Tehillim. It's called. That's the book that David wrote. People read it every day. It's a very common book that people read.
Is it his story, or what's he writing?
Yeah, it's
about
his story. Yeah,
okay,
his story. Yeah, and he talks about all kind of messages and stuff, the trials and tribulations that he went through in life and all that stuff.
That's a little controversial that you're writing your own story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously he's gonna skip some things.
Bro, autobiography, bro.
Well, in the Bible, David's story was so scandalous that it had to be censored. His story is actually twice in the Bible. There's the book of Samuel, and that one is uncensored, chock full of sex and violence and passion and scandal and dysfunction. But the book of Chronicles, they added to the Bible at a later date, and they cleaned all that shit up. And they're no, David just did all this good stuff and was God's homie. You know what I mean? God loved him, and he did all this good stuff. So it's interesting that they actually rewrote it in their own Bible, and people that are Bible thumping, Bible fearing people, they're gonna believe every word. So why'd you have to rewrite it? You know what I mean?
I feel like people if you're still talking about someone 6,000, 7,000 years later,
yeah,
they must have been a good dude. Or a really bad one.
Bad.
Yeah, or a really bad one. So
we talk about Genghis
but if
Khan.
so many people say that he's a good dude, then he must have had some kind of flair to him. He must have had something to him, right? Because people got, even only super evil, but then there's a lot of evil stories about him. But
in both instances of the Bible, I mean, he's described as a man after God's own heart, just one of the, a pure guy. But he's also described as a blood-stained fiend from hell.
Fiend? They say fiend?
Or is it friend of hell? Maybe I miswrote it.
Fiend is wild. That means they just straight up didn't like him.
A blood-stained friend of hell.
know?
Let's go with that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, like I said, David and Goliath, the original underdog story, and then I find out this guy killed a lion. He defended himself with a harp. What's that thing about King Saul came to kill him and then he defended himself with a harp? What did he do?
So I think he was I don't know, he was supposed to be maybe I'm wrong about this, supposed to be entertainer for Shaul.
Yeah.
Shaul HaMelech. I don't know how you say it. How would you say it?
How would I say it?
No, how'd you say what? How'd you say Shaul?
Oh, Saul.
Saul. Okay, so that's a King Saul.
And you say what?
And then
Shaul.
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 Shaul HaMelech.
Like
Shaul.
Raul.
And welcome to the stage, Shaul.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Jewish people don't like King Saul, or is he?
No, so people started liking David more than him because people would say in the streets like King Shaul kills 1,000 people, but David is strong to kill 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And they would say that about him, and then he got jealous and he's like, oh shit, fuck this guy. So then he tried to kill him, but they say that they were actually peaceful buddies. They were actually after all the bullshit. They loved each other. I'm like, that don't make no sense, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like, I love you, but I'll fuck you up when I see you though.
I heard Saul.
I'll like your shit on Instagram, but other than that.
In the that's so funny.
You think that he would have a lot of followers if they were like, who would have the most followers if they all had like King David or Jesus, Hitler?
Like, David, if he got a TikTok of him killing Goliath with a slingshot.
That would be a nice TikTok, right?
Bro, I think it'd be Jesus all day.
I think Hitler would have the most followers.
He just has the long hair and everything. Like he's like a rock star.
Turning water into wine. Yeah, going to a party.
Exactly.
Did you see what Jesus did at the Grammys last night? They ran out of wine and he turned all the water into wine.
A TikTok of him pouring water and it's turning into wine into his glass. Or as he's pouring it on a girl, pouring it on her tits and it's turning into wine as it's hitting. What?
A little bit, you get like the sad like 5-minute story about how this kid has cancer and they're about to die. Then Jesus just comes in and he's just like, bless you.
He's like 10 times better than Chris Angel. He just floats in.
Oh yeah,
watches the kid. That's it.
Even the coolest one, even though all that other shit is really cool, I still think the coolest one for like a Instagram video would be walking on water. Like that's dope,
right?
Just walking on water.
Like I'm sure there's some dudes that would just be into like watching Jews getting killed. I don't know. Like if Hitler had an Instagram.
Oh wow,
like,
true.
This is my story today. I killed the Jews.
Oh my god!
In the morning, I have apple juice, orange juice, and banana juice.
Holy! It's funny. Wow. Yeah.
No,
okay.
but if
how do you know Hitler wouldn't just like put his paintings up on TikTok and be like this? Right? He was a painter,
paintings?
right?
He was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Before he took up the hobby of like the horrible stuff he was doing, he was a painter.
This is a story for another day. We will do an episode on Hitler, like episode 100 or something. A very special one. You know what I mean?
But he'd probably be painting fucked up things, right?
That's crazy, man. But okay, let's go back to David. Like you said, when David was a teenager, he was anointed as the next king of Israel after he beat Goliath. So that's when like you said, people were starting to like him more than Saul, and Saul, that's when he came to attack him. So Saul came to attack him with a sword. David defended himself with a harp. It's all good. But now Saul banished him. He hid in the desert, and he lived on the run, forced out of the nation, and fought many battles. It was nearly 15 years between the time that he was anointed king and he actually became king. So when he was he was a teenager, like God was already like, you're the one, yo. You're the one.
Really?
King Saul's like, nah, dog.
He's like, you're next up.
You're next up, yo. So, okay, so you said
he was king for 40 years, I think, yeah.
He was king for 40 years?
40 years.
You said you read like a book about like David's thing every day. Like what? So do you just pick a different chapter? Or is there like one thing from that book that you're supposed to read every day?
No, it's 150. You guys can't hear me, really?
No, that's good.
You just can hear me now. I can hear me.
I know, but did you see how when you turned it, how much better you started to sound?
Yeah,
that better?
I think that's.
You hear me? Yeah.
I think
what I'm doing.
I'm doing the same thing.
I think we could definitely switch mics, and then you could be better with this one. I think.
Yeah.
You want to? Well, no, you guys can't switch those mics. You
Why?
Crazy? Fuck.
What?
I'm an editor. You mad? You know what fucking happens
Really?
if you do that?
Check.
Crazy.
Test.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
What? Should we just switch the plugs?
No, just give him this mic.
Okay.
Oh.
Hopefully it works. Check. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's so much easier. Can you hear me though?
Now I don't feel like I can hear him at all.
Yeah.
Maybe that mic doesn't work.
I hear something.
It doesn't. It sucks.
So let's-
Jam easy. Keep going.
Okay. Technical difficulties provided to you by the Jews. Once again, thank you to the Jews. No, just the Jew, not the whole tribe. Just the one of them here tonight. Lior Cabeza, reintroducing you to the show. So what? I can't just use that mic, Colin?
Well, yeah, if you guys like actually unplug them and switch.
You keep it going.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I will keep it going. So, for some reason, some people just can't hold the microphone properly.
Oh, yeah.
And we found out today that Lior is one of those people. But we work with people like this.
Yeah.
Because I have been a fan of the Jewish community for some 33 years now.
Wow.
And I like you guys.
That's not what I heard.
And that's why I haven't questioned him on why he's still wearing his shoes or anything.
Yo. Oh, wow. Okay, that's the front.
There you go.
Audio Technica. That's where I'm gonna live and breathe.
Bro, don't plug those guys. They're not paying us yet.
All right. Bleep that out. Okay. So let's talk about some of the great. I was asking you before the book that you read every day. Like, what do you learn about David from that book? What's the gist of it? Like, what are you getting from it?
You you go through his trials and tribulations with life.
Yeah.
And you can relate it to your own life, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, he always. Keep going. You hear me?
Yeah. Keep going.
No matter what, he always.
No matter what, he would always like stick with God. No matter it was
true.
Shitty times, good times. That's what they say about him. So he was. Even if you look at the word David,
yeah,
the way you write it in Hebrew, it's you can read it backwards and forward the same way. It doesn't matter. You always come out the same. It's like It's like if someone was Bob.
It's like mom.
Or mom, yeah.
Mom is the same way backwards as it is forward.
It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Or Bob, or whatever. I don't know what's that. Mom's a good one too, right? So his name is spelled like that because they were saying that he was always. It doesn't matter if it was good or bad. He would always stick with and have faith in God, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Another question is: do you actually read this book every day?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you do, to be honest.
I do.
For real?
Yeah, every day.
Every single
Not
day.
the whole book. I read a chapter. No, yeah.
Okay. So it's a big book, and there's you just read parts
chapter.
of it.
Yeah, I just read a chapter. Yeah.
Where do you get this?
No,
book?
I don't read the whole. Any like Judaica story, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Tehillim.
Tehillim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tehillim.
And how do you say David in Hebrew?
David.
Yeah. So how does that spell? So it's spelled D-A-V-A-D?
In Hebrew letters, it's different. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When you see it.
DVD. David.
Basically.
David.
Bro, so what's going on with this guy?
Okay. So like I said, in the Bible, he's portrayed as both a hero and a villain in various parts. During his life, he conquered Jerusalem and he set out to build an entire empire. So Israel was already a place, but when he became king, he made Jerusalem like the Holy Land, like the place to be. You know what I mean? So he established that, and he destroyed the Philistines and their culture. So I don't know if this is a pro or a con, because at that time it's like there was a fight back and forth, but at the same time he might have committed one of the world's first genocides of a culture, the Philistines. Yeah, it was all cool when it was David versus Goliath, but now you're killing all the women and children too, David?
That couldn't have been the first one, though. That couldn't have been the first genocide, though. Couldn't have been.
Yeah, somebody had to kill.
No,
there was Cain and Abel, no?
Oh, true.
Yeah. That's the first people, I think, that killed each other. So,
true.
Sort of in the Bible, I think.
Wow.
They were the first dudes that were like, and he was like, "Where's your brother?" Like, I don't know.
So
yeah, I think they were the first murderers.
Probably. There was stuff, and I'm pretty sure Genghis Khan was before David too, or maybe he was after.
Or God.
Definitely after.
God was
definitely
after.
First.
Genghis Khan? No, I think it was definitely.
I'm pretty sure Genghis Khan was before Christ as well.
What?
We need to have like a timeline of everyone we've done here, so we could be like, okay, this is because one thing me and Colin have realized while we're going through these people of history is the further back you go, the more you can let them get away with. Like rape has never been cool, but rape was cooler before Christ.
Yeah.
It was more okay. Like Genghis Khan, they have a fucking 100-foot statue of him still to this day in Mongolia.
Of course.
And nobody's like, take that down because he raped half the world. You know what I mean? They're like, nah, he was still pretty cool because he got us a lot of land at the time.
That was like the connecting thing.
So you're saying that, okay. Listen,
so
men with power are just different people. It's just a different, mindset. I don't know.
Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. So David was all good before he became king, but when he became king, he might have done some not so nice things. Now, in this book of David that you've been reading every day, do they talk about his his baby mama Bethesda?
Bethesda?
I don't remember. Actually, you know what? I actually just started like interpreting because I always used to read it. I didn't like you kind of.
How do you say that name?
Like Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. Did they talk about her at all?
Yeah, and he had like a bastard son with her or something.
Yeah. It was talk about a bastard. Maybe King David was being a little bit of a bastard in this situation. So he saw this.
Why is it? I see R. Kelly over there.
I told you not to look at the notes.
That's your notes?
I told you don't look at.
Hold on, those are your notes?
Yeah,
don't worry about.
I thought it was a website.
No.
It is a website.
There's some notes from websites and there's some notes from me.
Those are professional.
And sometimes it's like, what am I going to copy and paste?
Dare
on
you question the notes?
That's why you're not supposed to look. You're giving people behind the curtain.
They are professional notes.
All right.
I just got like, look at all these names that are just popping out of my face. Like, whoa.
Well, see why I tell you.
Go ahead and tell them.
Why I tell you not to look at the notes is because you've already skipped ahead, and it's already and in these notes they compare King David to the likes of Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, using their power to maybe not officially like rape a girl, but at the same time put her in a position where she's having sex when she didn't want to, which is in turn rape.
But that's what all kings did.
Didn't they?
No women wanted to have sex with kings. Kings would just roll up and be like, "You will have my seed now."
So
no one was
it wasn't like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
like,
they
just
like,
come on a horse and shit.
Yeah, he had chicken. It was all moldy and shit. He's eating it. And it smells like garbage. And he's just like, "Come here. It's an honor for you to do this." And it's like, what the fuck?
You're gonna get fat with me.
Yeah, none of these guys were charming and shit. They're just kings, bro. They're just nasty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess there was no like like these days there was no like. I'm gonna cancel you. There's none of that. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill your whole fucking family. How about that?
That is what they would do.
In a way,
I'm gonna cancel your family.
They kill your whole bloodline.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even think of family. They just say blood. You were related to that guy, right? That's it. You're dead. That's it. You just say yes. You're dead.
Oh,
That's
you're a Weinstein.
Oh,
unfortunately, there's no more of you allowed on this planet.
You're a Weinstein, you say. Well, close enough.
Close enough. We're not taking any chances today. Yeah. I before E, except that's. Okay. Now back to how do you say the name again? How did you say it?
Bathsheba.
Okay. So
Bathsheba.
So basically, King David, he could see out his window that Bathsheba was taking a bath on her rooftop, naked. Oh, she looks good. Hey, soldiers, go get me that lady.
See.
So they went and got her. Now, the real unfortunate thing about this, well, not just the rape part, but Bathsheba had a. Yeah.
You can hear it.
You can hear me? I can't hear me.
Really?
I can't hear me. Yeah.
What about now?
There you go. I didn't touch anything. Why does it keep doing that?
So touch it. Just touch it.
What do I do?
If
that's what King David said to Bathsheba. touch it, just touch it.
Just touch it.
And the reason that was particularly fucked up of him is Bathsheba was the wife of one of the soldiers in his army, in his own army. Yeah. So it's pretty, you know what I mean? You're fighting for the kingdom, and then you're gonna fuck my wife while I'm away. Like that's kind of messed up. And so here's the thing. They say, oh, she was bathing in front of his window on the rooftop. Oh, maybe she asked for it.
Whoa.
That's what they were trying to. That's what some people say. Why would she be bathing right in front of his window? Right?
Who the fuck gets naked to bathe?
But as we've come to learn, now
what the fuck is she doing?
What a whore.
That kind of rhetoric. Yeah, that kind of rhetoric was okay.
Open and shit for sure. She's like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?"
But that's the thing. They barely even had windows. She's probably just like in like a cave like thing that he literally positioned so he could stare at, and then he was like, "Oh well."
She showed a little bit too much of that.
What can I do now?
Yeah, no.
Get her, guys.
So he noticed an attractive neighbor, Bathsheba, washing herself on the rooftop. His neighbor, right? He sends his men to take her back to his palace, and he has sex with her. And she conceives a baby. So she got pregnant, and then since the husband was away fighting a war,
that's some deep shit, man.
King David tried to say, come back, get drunk, get your wife pregnant. You know what I mean? And the guy was such a loyal soldier. He was such a loyal soldier that he's like, no, I can't leave my men. So he stayed at war. And then King David's alternative, he's like, okay, if he can't come back and pretend to get his wife pregnant, so that this baby can be his and not my bastard, I'm just going to get him murdered. So he sent that guy to the front lines. He got murdered. And then King David just married his wife took her on as a wife.
Okay. I swear that happened in Game of Thrones. I swear that same thing happened. That somebody was getting...
Isn't it based on those kind of times?
I think so. Yeah, somebody was getting dug out, and then he was like, yo, kill that dude.
I never
he wanted the wife. That happened.
Yeah.
Yo, Game of Thrones is a huge... It just ripped off everything.
Oh, for sure. Everything's a rip off of everything.
That's
crazy. You said the holy books are ripped off of Africa or whatever. You know what I mean?
Fucking right they are.
Lior, what do you think about that?
Lior's African.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Look at Lior.
Lior's African.
He's African looking. He looks like a Brazilian kid.
My dad's from Morocco.
Oh,
for real?
Yeah.
There you go.
So I guess I am.
Sup, nigga?
Wow, I think I got a pass. I've been waiting to say this for years. I just said it with like a hard R.
That'd be something.
Okay, so one of the this just from the Bible point of view in Samuel, why it makes it seem like it was more of a rape than a what do you call it, consensual thing. It says in the text they say he lay with her, not they lay together. This language is used to describe their encounter, suggest rape, not just adultery. He took Bathsheba and lay with her. He took her and lay with her. So I don't know, guys. A lot of like.
I have a question. So my question is, what was okay back then, and what was not okay back then? Because they don't tell you that part, right? So it's, for example, if I told you like in 20 years when I tell you like, oh, someone used to smoke a lot of weed, they're like, oh my god, he was a criminal. But like nowadays, because it's okay, it's different. So it's like, okay, you smoke weed, big deal. Back in the day, people would look at you, smoke weed, they would look down on you, like you're like, you know. But I'm not comparing weed to rape, but but you know what I mean? Like things changed with the years. Was everyone raping? Like, or was he just the only guy that raped? Was he the only?
Yeah. What are you not gonna rape if everyone's raping?
No,
what are you gonna be one of those nerds that's not raping?
No, but like back.
Our king doesn't even rape women. How are we supposed to follow this guy?
My best example of what was okay back then: Alexander the Great murdered some lady's son, and he's like, you're gonna be my mom now.
You're my mom now.
And that was just it.
Yeah. And she liked
decision made, and that's it. You got a new son.
Her son was being a bit of a bitch though.
like I guess he went to war with her son, something like that, and he ended up murdering him. And then he was like, I'll be your son now.
Okay.
Well, her son's like on the ground twitching. He's like, you have a new son.
You have to give me the visual too.
He's like, you have a god for a son now. Goodbye.
Oh my god.
And she was just like, oh my god. Could have murdered me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what was okay. I mean,
bro, whatever. So what I'm saying is, whatever a king wanted to do, he could do.
Yeah. You think these days it's not that way?
Nobody would.
You think the rules apply to the elite? You think
to the kings, to the new kings? Yeah.
To the kings in these days, you think it applies to them?
Like
these
Jeff
rules?
Bezos is like a king now.
Yeah, nothing applies to them. King. You got enough money, you get away with anything. You get away with murder.
Well,
literally.
Regardless of if it was rape or if it was consensual, the in the Bible they say. In Samuel 2:11-27, the thing that David did has displeased the Lord. Did they say that in David's book too?
So I guess
because he took a what do they call her? He took a precious sheep from a poor man. That's basically what
that's what they called her.
That's what the analogy they used in the Bible. He took a precious sheep because
I know you mean because sheeps are valuable back then.
Yeah, from a poor man,
and you love to drink that milk.
So it was fucked.
Someone takes your sheep, you can't drink that milk anymore.
Sheep or goat? I don't think sheep make sheep. They got sheep milk. Yeah, sheep milk. What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
No, I don't think they. I think they got goat milk and cow. I don't think they
got sheep's got milk.
I never heard sheep.
No,
sheep's got milk. Sheep's milk.
Goat milk they got, not sheep.
They definitely have goat milk. For sure they got goat milk.
They might have sheep, but sheep are for their wool, basically. That's what they're used for.
Bro, I've ate lamb.
Bro, if I only had a sheep.
Okay.
If I only had a sheep, I'm gonna eat that bad boy. And I would milk them. You wouldn't milk them if that's all you had.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never.
You gotta milk something.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, kings are raping people all around you. You need sustenance, bro.
You talk about that because David was actually a shepherd.
David was a shepherd.
Really?
That's how he started out. It started from the bottom.
He started as a shepherd and ended as a king.
And God said that he's worthy to be a king because.
Yeah, why was that?
He would he would separate his animals in a way where he would let the weaker ones eat first, and the second, and then the little stronger ones he would let out second, and then the third he would let. And
so
he would
so
say
that everyone got a taste.
Yeah, so everyone got there. So he said if you could, it's just the way he treated his animals, and God was like, "You're worthy to be a leader."
Yeah, because he hadn't seen how he would treat women yet. That was the problem.
Oh,
it could be.
Don't do that, bro. Come on.
And listen, you might be wrong.
Same thing when God blessed Harvey Weinstein with all this success and able to make great movies. He didn't realize that he was also blessing him with the power to abuse.
God,
he fucked up. He had a gift. God gave him a gift. Definitely, he had a lot, but he fucked it up. A lot of people get greedy. They get all this shit and then they get greedy. So
what? This is actually a thing that fucked him up, like in these books.
What
that they talk about, like this whole thing, like this rape situation, quote unquote.
This
is like, is this recorded? And
no, this was like a lesson that he learned. Like you say, he went through good and bad. This is something where David learned a harsh lesson from, because it did cause trouble between his sons, because now he basically there's a fucking quote that's like
I've never seen someone do that over King David. Never seen that. You ever seen that?
Speak truth to power. Comes from officials confronting him over his infidelity. So basically, speak truth to power. The what ended up happening is his sons went to war against each other after his death. And the reason that happened was because he's been doing all this adultery stuff. He has all these sons scattered. Now, if it was all in one house, maybe they wouldn't have to go to war. But that's the harsh lesson that came from this in the Bible. At least I don't know how they tell the story in your books. I was hoping for your perspective, but but did they even say like the aftermath of him taking Bathsheba, or?
I never really got into detail about this stuff. Not really.
We got a bad Jew here. Yeah. We got a bad Jew in the building.
I could have easily brought like
a real Jew.
Most Jewish people don't know that much about.
Don't put it on the whole people.
No, you don't. They don't teach you that much about King David. There's so much things they just teach you in general,
buddy.
But like they don't. If you want to go into details about stuff, like there's some people that actually like learn Torah all day. That's all they do.
If I brought my buddy Hanoch would know about this stuff.
If
maybe no.
If you ask Jews who's the bigger like the guy in history, Moses or David, who's like the more respected guy?
I would say Moses.
I was gonna say Moses too.
Okay.
And he split the sea, man. That's like OG. That's like Jay-Z right there.
He parted the sea. He did.
He showed people what was going on.
I know. David just took out a guy that was slightly bigger than him.
He was 6'9". He was 6'9" for sure. That
David was just short with a slingshot.
Yeah, and it was like overkill. You know, it's like me walking up to a dude who's like 6'5", and I just slingshot him in his forehead, just crack his head open.
Yeah, it's like,
you'd be like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, he's a giant. He was a giant. I got him.
It's like that time that Rey Mysterio gave Big Show the 619, and he won the title.
Do you know who Rey Mysterio is?
No,
Rey Mysterio Jr.?
No, oh my God!
You know Big Show though, right?
Yeah, I don't really watch WWE. Yeah, I don't really watch that much.
Bro, he's reaching way back with Rey Mysterio. That's an old school wrestler, bro.
Rey Mysterio?
He's
still around.
He must be 58 years old.
Rey Mysterio's still around. Yeah, and I have Ric Flair. Yeah, wrestling's in the air, I guess.
Yeah, I know. I never grew up.
So. One thing I read is that Jewish tradition claims that he never really died. Is that true?
No.
That's so gangster.
Well,
is that true? No.
That was in the 14 facts that I read about him on Google.
No, I never heard. Really?
Yeah.
Actually, every one of them said it. He never died. I never.
That's just
that.
like okay, I'll look a little more into it.
How did he die then?
How did he die? That's a great question, Colin.
He was old. I think he died he was 70, I think.
70?
Yeah, 70. He died at age 70.
Whoa. See, that's what I mean, man. Like, Hanoch lived until 360.
Natural causes, 970 BC. He was buried in Jerusalem, and is suggested in Hebrew and Greek scriptures that he facilitated the establishment of the kingdom of Israel through his piety and lineage. Before his death, David gave his final admonition to his son Solomon. So, okay, Solomon is actually the son of Bathsheba too, but it's not the one that they conceived. The one that they conceived ended up dying when they were a kid. But then they had another kid, and that became Solomon, who was like the next great king of Israel, right?
My dad and uncle are identical twins, and my dad is Shlomo, and my uncle is David.
Really?
David and Solomon, yeah.
Solomon is Shlomo.
Shlomo died. Yeah,
Shlomo, eh?
So my uncle's David, my dad's Shlomo.
That's amazing.
So what's the story? Was Solomon a good dude or what?
Solomon was a pimp.
Was he?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He had 1,000 wives.
For real, eh?
Yeah.
1,000.
He's like 99. Nah, you get the fuck out.
I wonder how many.
Not 101, not 99, 1,000.
I wonder how many he romanced, like he got like to love him, or is how many he just took. You know what I mean? He's just like, I want that. You're mine now. I'm a king.
He just rolled up.
I gotta do my research on that.
But he was known as like a.
Shlomo.
He was known as like a pimp, like he had pimp qualities though. You know what I mean? Like he was
slap a bitch.
No, I meant like in a nice way. Like he was like a Romeo kind of like he
fucking the house now.
He was good with women.
Papi chulo.
Yeah, you say he was the smartest man alive.
No, but they actually said in what I was reading in the smartest man alive.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
you know,
Shlomo was the smartest.
Well, apparently.
Um,
Every Shlomo I know is smart as fuck.
At the time. Yeah.
But I did read when I was looking at the cons of David, which I wasn't even going to hold against him, but you can, is the fact that he was known for taking women and being a little violent and raping Bathsheba, who ended up having his sons. They said he was a bad example for his sons, and what they saw their dad do, they ended up doing, as in taking women and stuff. So maybe some out of those thousands, maybe 500 didn't want to be there. I don't know.
For Solomon, who knows, man?
I'm sorry,
because it's like at the same.
No, I hear you. Because apologize to me. I'm not. How dare you?
Because at the same time, it's not some bum that's taking you away. He's bringing you to this amazing life. You know what I mean? He's taking you to be a Kardashian, basically. You know what I mean? You're just a regular Instagram influencer. He's like, come be a Kardashian today. And you're just like, okay. You're like, I don't really want, but whatever. This is gonna be great.
Yeah,
I get to stay in the castle. Okay, like
sure.
Yeah.
999 others.
But that's back then, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine that? You're like, oh yeah, I'm the only one, and then he just puts you into a stadium filled with wives.
Yeah.
The wives' room.
He's like, wait here. I'll be back.
Number 72.
Yeah. You just take a number. They're just in line like the DMV.
Oh god.
They when King David called Bathsheba to his room after seeing her naked, apparently they said that she probably thought, he's probably calling me in here to tell me my husband just died, because her husband's a soldier. Like, why would the king want to call me into the palace right now?
Yeah.
And then you get called in to fuck. You know what I mean? You're going there. You're probably like all stressed out. Like, did my husband just die? You get in there and he's like, take your clothes off. Yeah. You're about to feel what it's like to have a king inside you tonight.
You're gonna be in the movie David vs. Goliath 2.
Yeah.
Starring The Rock.
I know you heard I took down Goliath and he was pretty big, but how about you come take down my Goliath? Wow!
Bro, and then he pulls her in close and he says, "You want to be in the Bible?"
Oh shit! Oh,
you want to be in the Bible?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
she's like, what? The Bible? Let's do this.
He shows her the story.
She made it though. She's right? We're still talking about her.
Right? You know what I mean? Right now she's like, that's right. She's like, I knew what I did.
But apparently he wasn't in the story that he wrote about himself though.
Like I didn't say what. No, I didn't say.
Okay. I was gonna say, he left that part out. He's like,
no.
He's like, and then I raped that girl. No, sorry. Hey guys, throw out this.
But the thing is, he wouldn't even, like, if you were a king, you wouldn't even see it that way.
No,
like
just
in that time,
I gave this girl a seed. Like, wow, I'm so great.
Yeah, you'd be like, I bedded that person, and everybody would just be like, okay. They wouldn't even ask if it was consensual, because it would be like an order. If you said no, wouldn't you die? You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
It is great. He was very. It sounds like his reign as king was very mob boss esque. He ran a protection racket.
All the great guys do.
He'd come over to your fucking business and he'd be like, just give me $50 a month and I'll protect you. Protect you from what? And then he just starts fucking up shit in your place. He's like, that. Now give me the money. I'm Jewish.
There's a business card that just says David on it.
He says, I'm Jewish. He just looks at him. We're all Jewish. What are you doing?
Yeah. I know you're cheap. I want that money. Give me that shit.
Like, don't be like this. Jesus, David.
Yeah, married a ton of women all over Israel to consolidate his run for the throne. So even before he became king, he was just like, okay, I'm gonna get you pregnant. I'm gonna get you pregnant and marry all these girls. Because remember that 15-year gap
He
between
gets 7 wives.
7 wives?
That's what you do when you go to Israel. I'll tell you what.
7 wives.
The ladies in Israel are no joke.
Don't play
And
around.
allegedly, King David created the first hit list in history.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good for
So
him.
in one of his final acts,
Good for him.
in one of his final acts as king of Israel, he gave his son Solomon a hit list, a last will and testament worthy of dying of a mafia capo. So he's basically like, yeah, here, you got to kill the after I'm gone. I want these guys dead.
Can you imagine? Wow, your dad's about to die, and he's like, here, kill all those people for me. I gotta go to bed. You're like, what the fuck? There's 80 people on this list.
They said that this scene in the Bible might have been the inspiration for the final scene in The Godfather. I can't remember the final scene in The Godfather, but maybe he gives a hit list out. I'm not too sure.
Oh, shit.
I've never seen The Godfather. I'll be straight up. I've never seen any of them.
I actually watched it
The
for
second one is in Italian, no, isn't it?
No, but there's Italian parts in it.
Oh, there's Italian parts, yeah.
Because he goes to...
De Niro's
so,
in it, no? He's
De Niro's
he
in it.
speaks Italian, no?
He plays a young Don Corleone.
Oh,
Corleone.
that I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen a clip of that.
Yeah, I've seen the first.
I only
one.
saw pieces before, but this summer I actually watched it for the first time. The first 2.
feel
Actually, I
it?
watched the third one too. Third one's not bad.
There's 3?
Everyone shits on the third one, but I watched it and maybe because I had such low expectations, I was like, this is actually not that bad. There's some pretty cool scenes in it. I'm trying to remember.
Compared to the movies these days.
Huh?
Compared to the movies these days.
Right?
Probably.
Exactly.
What's wrong with movies these days?
Compared to like Godfather and stuff?
The storyline.
I just watched Shazam. It was sick.
Yeah, there you go.
No, yeah.
The
in
stories are so
comparison.
these days. Like,
Yeah, from Goodfellas to like
yeah, good flag.
to think about like any other movie, it's like today that's coming out like this year, last year. It's like, woof.
Do you like The Irishman?
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it? I didn't like it that much either.
I
It was
tried like
long,
5 times to watch it. I kept falling asleep,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this movie's not that worth it to keep trying to
Oh
watch.
wait, that's like the newest one, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't
haven't
seen
seen
it.
it? Okay.
Is it supposed to? It's okay. You didn't
Martin
like it?
Scorsese, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro try to
Sylvester's in it
reclaim
too.
their greatness and fail.
This guy's just mad because not enough Irish in it for him. This guy was expecting
it
it
was
to be
called-
shot in Ireland.
It's called
and
The
everything.
Irish. Yeah, it's called The Irishman. It didn't feel very Irish to me.
This guy's like, I don't even see any flags. He's like, what is this
A
shit?
bunch of Italians in here.
Nobody with the last
Well-
name Cummins in here. What the fuck?
Goodfellas. Ray Liotta's character is half Irish,
Yeah, it's like-
and I think
yeah.
that's more of The Irishman than The Irishman.
Is it based on a true
Wow.
story?
The Irishman?
No. The Irishman is based on a true story.
bro,
Jimmy
everything
Everything's based on a true story.
No.
everything
The Goodfellas.
Scorsese does is based on a true story.
Actually?
No, I don't know. But you believed it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Scorsese,
You
right?
fell for it. Departed.
That was a good movie.
That's
I like
bomb.
that. That's a good movie.
That's
That is
a
a
bomb
fucked up
movie.
movie.
Bomb. I love that
Man.
movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Jack
I haven't seen it for a
Nicholson
long
is
time.
like when Jack Nicholson is evil, he's just sick. He's amazing when he's evil.
Jack Nicholson. Yeah, I know.
He goes up. That's Leonardo DiCaprio's in that, right?
Yeah.
He's like
Matt Damon too.
he like sneaks up behind him, like he smells a rat.
And there's some good Irish. in that.
All improvised. All improvised.
That's
shit.
some Irish shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on.
There's another gangster movie about I don't know if Scorsese made it though, about Johnny Depp plays the fucking mob boss in Boston. What's that one called?
Johnny Depp plays a mob.
Yo,
boss?
it's really
I've
good.
Never seen that.
Ah.
I thought you were talking about Donnie Brasco for a minute, but he's not a mob boss in that. He's close to it though.
Don't look at my shit, yo.
It's right
Fucking
in front of me.
when this guy first brought King David up to me, he was like, "This guy's like the action hero of the Bible."
Yeah, Whitey
what he
Bulger. Johnny Depp plays Whitey Bulger.
Oh
yeah,
yeah. I've seen that movie.
That's pretty good,
I think it's called
Black Mass.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But yeah, I did think King David was the action hero of the Bible. Now I'm finding out that he's also the mob boss of the Bible. And then when I was looking into something, I found out that he's also this year or last year they called Donald Trump is a modern day King David.
Wow.
Fuck all that.
That's where you draw the line. Maybe he
This
raped,
guy's in
maybe
for
he
the-
was killing everyone, but there's no way he's no Trump.
Right? I don't know. I don't know why they would like. I guess you can make that comparison to anybody. I mean, I made that comparison before I knew that article existed.
They said King David, it was a sinner who the Lord used for his purposes, and whose faults and crimes were redeemed by the good he did. That's the comparison to
Isn't it crazy
Trump.
that you can be alive all those years ago and bloggers are still going to blog about you? Yeah. Like you should be away from the blogosphere at that point, but you're still getting it.
People are still trying to tell you that Bethesda didn't ask for it when you know she did. Why else was she bathing like that naked in my next? What, she doesn't know of the king's windows right here?
It'd be amazing to hear a king's explanation. He would just look at you and be like, I own everything.
Yeah.
He'd be like, what are you talking about? I own you. I own him. I own them. I own this ground. What are you talking about? Have sex with me right now. And he'd just have sex with you.
Yeah.
He'd look you right in the eye and just fuck you. Go, this is what I do, man. And it's not about sex. He'd push you off and walk away. Still hard. Didn't even come. Just wanted to be inside you for a little bit.
That's why they call me the king. I'm about to slingshot my come at you later.
Oh my God.
But not to say that Bethesda did ask for it, but it is possible that she did. It is possible that it's not impossible that she asked for it. Yeah. So maybe her plan was, I'm gonna get naked and wash myself in front of the king's window. And then it actually worked. You're like, my husband's never around. They're like, he's fighting a war for our country. Bro. My husband's never around. That's you know how women are.
That's the equivalent of when you see a girl at the gym and she bends over and you're like, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. Picking up that weight in front of me like that. She knows.
She's doing that crotch opening and closing workout. Everyone knows that's not for any muscles, unless you're talking about the muscle that's in my pants that she wants inside her.
That's exactly that's what those people are doing. But like, maybe she asked for it.
If she did ask for it, and then she's like, I'm gonna get naked and bathe in front of the king's window. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? And then he calls her over and she's like, oh, it actually worked. I'm gonna fuck the king. Like and then she gets pregnant off him. Right? and then she's like, well, damn. So how's my husband gonna feel about this? And then the king's like, don't worry about that. I already murdered him.
Wow. So you think she was a real Kardashian? So she was an actual Kardashian.
It's possible because and in a way, well, it all worked out because her son, one of the not that one, but the second one that she conceived for him, Solomon, ended up being a great king. At least a powerful one. I don't know if he's great. Yeah.
He was great. Now, how many people I see with the last name Solomon now? He must have been something.
This guy's uncle's name is Solomon, right? So he must have been all right.
Shlomo.
And it's all because David did or did not rape that woman, but he did.
Yeah, but
he did marry her after.
What else?
And there's nothing more on. You don't see Harvey Weinstein marrying Gwyneth Paltrow.
What other bad things did he do? What other? What else?
Buddy, what the fuck? We've been talking for an hour.
But is there anything else bad that he did?
A lot of bloodshed. He genocided the Philistines. He set a precedent for trying to take out the Palestinians to this day. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Lior.
So then what did he do that was good? Like, what's all the good stuff? Like, what's the number one good thing that he did? Took over Israel, or Jerusalem.
Okay. You want to focus on that?
Well, I'm just wondering. I hate to focus on.
Okay, so unification of Israel. King David was able to accomplish something that remained elusive to King Saul: unify Israel. Previous to King David, Israeli tribes had been held together as a loose confederacy, but as recounted in 2 Samuel, tribe and elders who held great esteem for David. So a lot of the elders were like, yeah, this is God's, like, God wanted this guy. The God wanted this king. So when he became king, when all the elders of Israel had come to King David at Hebron, the king made a covenant with them at Hebron before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel. So he was the first king to unite all of Israel.
Wow.
What? Why'd you laugh at that?
So he did some shit. He did some amazing, and then
conquered Jerusalem. I talked about that already.
The ark, like Noah's Ark?
No. Although it's King David's son Solomon who builds Israel's first temple, King David brings the Ark of God, or the Ark of the Covenant, a wooden chest holding the original 2 tablets of Jewish law.
This is so weird. You know, like, it is like exactly what he was saying before with the elite. It is like these guys are like the elite. Like, this guy sounds like a Bezos type. He's like, I'm gonna do some shit that you guys have never seen before. You know what I mean?
But he wasn't born rich. That's the thing. Like, he wasn't born into, like, a lot of elite.
They weren't either.
No, I thought a lot of elite. It's like
not Jeff Bezos.
No.
Nah, man, he was a shepherd.
Was he a shepherd?
Nah, but he started Amazon in his garage. You know what I mean?
I did. I was with you. I'm actually impressed that I thought he came from money.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it is like, that's what these guys are.
Now
they're the elite.
You have a theory that the elite stole all this stuff from Africa, and David actually never even existed, right?
Not that it's stolen. It's if you look at the world in the map, there's no Middle East back then. Back in the days of like Canaan and stuff like that, like it was all attached. It was very attached. You can even see the flora, the people, the skin tones, everything. It makes more sense that it's from south of the whole Pangea continent than it does north.
So wait,
north.
Northeast. Do you think David didn't exist though? Because I had to look
like
into
I
it
said,
because you brought that up to me.
There's a bunch of I think there's a bunch of stories. Like I said, like that's why I asked you. I'm like, do you know the Celtic version of like Jesus? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
But there is one, right? So if you look into every culture, is there another story of this guy doing all these things and his name's not David? His name's something else? Because Jesus, there's literally 12 different stories around the world of Jesus. Same thing in their land.
Yeah.
Not talking about Jerusalem or anything. They have the same stories, but in their land.
Well,
So
because I don't know which one was first, but because you brought up that David might not have existed, I did look into it, and there was like a little thing. Basically, there's been 2 artifacts, like archaeologists have discovered, that have somewhat proven David's existence.
His skull?
No. So
imagine you said that he's like his full skeleton. I'd be like, oh shit.
So there's actually nothing's been found to confirm the existence of other people like Joseph, Moses, or Saul. But there was a discovery of an inscription of an ancient stone only in 1993 that seems to confirm that David was in fact a flesh and blood figure. It's called the Tel Dan Stella Stone from 850 BC. It was written in an old Aramaic script and mentions the house of David. Basically, 150 years after David's existence, an enemy claiming they defeated them, they finally took them, said that we defeated the house of David. So
what?
So
I guess that doesn't matter, but like, wow, okay.
So it was only discovered in the 1990s, but it's from like thousands of years ago.
That's insane.
So for sure the house of David existed, which means that David got the house, which means David was the king, and this is his lineage that was defeated 150
and it was
later.
Another blogger, the first blogger
that when they
defeated King David and his whole house. And the thing about it was I didn't really like what he did with that girl, so you really deserve this kind of treatment.
Takedown.
We had to take him out.
Takedown of the week. House of David. You're out. You're canceled.
So you're saying that there's no more bloodline for David? Like there's no people that come from the descent of David?
No. It's just that they took over his kingdom. Like he didn't have all that. Because
wow.
Who knows? Maybe it was a Palestinian.
there's a
No, Palestinians weren't around back then, right, Lior?
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of
Assyrians.
Till this day, they know their lineage all the way back to David.
Of who? People?
Yeah.
Like just regular people?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'd love to know that.
Yeah. There's some people in Israel that know their way. Yeah.
That like their family tree back to David?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any famous relatives?
If this guy says Moses, I am going to give this guy a hand job. Right here.
Yeah, wow.
I'm doing it. If he's related to Moses.
Can you imagine?
No, anybody? How far back do you know your stuff?
My uncle has a tree that goes, I don't know, very far back. I don't know. I don't really know that far back.
No.
Wow.
How far back do most people know? Like great grandfather, that's it, basically, right?
Me, no. I know my parents. Yeah, it literally
right?
stops
But like
there.
most people, right?
I just learned about my great grandparents on my dad's side, and the only reason I learned about them is because I'm named after my granny's dad, which is James Long, and then I found out that my dad's dad is Dick Cummins. So my full great great grandparents is James Long Dick Cummins. James Long Dick Cummins.
Jesus.
All right.
So that's what I know about my family tree, that I descend from James Long Dick Cummins.
See how people rewrite history to make themselves look better? You see?
Yeah.
Right down to the last name.
It was a man. But yeah, IRA and all that shit. You know what I mean? They were fighting the British. I know a bit about my grandparents, but.
How do you find out about this? Your parents? Or?
So my granny used to tell me stories all the time. Like apparently her mom.
Oh, she's not. She's gone.
She just passed away like last month.
Oh,
so
shit.
R.I.P.
Okay, rest in peace.
Technically, this chain is a present from Granny. So thank you. Yes. Apparently her mom was like a gun runner for the IRA. Like she used to hide them in places where they were gonna fight that night. Because apparently the women were like a big part of the Irish resistance. Like they would always be like, because the British army wasn't like expecting much from them to be like, they were just like, oh yeah, serve us drinks and stuff. They're not realizing that they're hiding a gun under the table for the guy that's coming to kill them. Or whatever, it's pretty sick.
Crazy.
But yeah, how did we get on? Oh, we were talking about lineage. So yeah, if you're in David's line, like that's pretty sick. But there's a chance that he raped your ancestor. Same as Genghis Khan. When we did Genghis Khan, they said like half of the world is like descendants of Genghis Khan. He fucked so much all over the world. Yeah. Fuck you, Mongolians.
Was he like? I don't know anything about no history about Genghis Khan. I just know that he raped a lot of people. That's all. But like
that's all you know.
Yeah, I've never done my.
There's not much else.
I didn't.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he was just as charming as Solomon was, right?
Maybe that was just the Internet of Things back then. You had to rape in order to connect.
So Genghis Khan might have been. Was he around the same time?
No.
He's where is he?
It says 1227. No.
BC.
Can you imagine? And they all
1227 BC. So that's 1,000 years before Jesus. So when was King David?
Can you imagine they hung out? So this girl's bathing right where I can see her. Okay. Genghis Khan's like, I know where this is going.
Yeah. You made another lineage.
He's like, I'm just saying, man.
Genghis Khan was 200 years before David. So David's reign was in 1040 BC, and Genghis Khan was 1227 BC.
He was 200 years later.
Because
he was 200.
Before. So when they do 1227 before Christ, was, I know we really fucked up the calendar. Us Christians, we're like, why couldn't we just count everything from start to finish? We have to be like,
resetting things.
Yeah.
So he was before David.
That's crazy, eh? Yeah. I didn't even know that. That's why we should actually make a little chart
that we can look at. Wikipedia though. I don't know if they know what they're talking about.
Sometimes.
I think David was way before.
You think so?
Way before.
Yeah, way before. Yeah.
What makes you think that?
I just have a feeling. I just don't look right. But
it doesn't look right that a Asian was conquering the earth 200 years before a Jewish person was. It does. None of it looks right to me.
No.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah, I have no idea.
How did white people make black people slaves?
Because you never think
Jewish calendar, and then there's your calendar, so it's all different. So
what is the Jewish calendar?
Bro, they're at year 5,781.
Yeah.
Like around
there.
So
we go the beginning of the world was year 1, right? Now we're at 5,000. They say that the world resets at 6,000 years.
Wow. So, well, we're not going to be around to see it then.
No.
Yeah.
No. If we don't get our shit together, kind of thing.
Yeah. It resets.
It's like a Big Bang again.
Because it said that God chose Jewish people. He ran trials. He tried it with different people, different sets of people, and the Jews were the best ones.
He asked everyone.
He asked?
And then the last one's like, oh.
He's like, which one of y'all want to be chosen out here?
And everyone's like, nah, I don't want that. And then God was like, shit, I gotta go to the Jews. Fuck.
My buddy said he tried with everybody.
Yeah.
But the Jews just had the best outcome.
The Jews are like, okay,
so maybe
we'll be Jewish. Jew.
So maybe now it's like 6,000 years comes up and he's just like, guys, what the fuck?
Not a good track record. You got Weinstein, you got Epstein. What the hell's going on here? 2020 is not a good year for you guys.
No, he would come down and be like, the whole world, you guys are supposed to be running this place. What happened? What's wrong with you guys?
You ran it, but you just didn't run it right.
He's like, and them Jewish people are just like, God, people really don't like us. Like, they really don't like us. He's like, I know, but you guys are supposed to be running shit. What's wrong with you guys? Everything. You never know, man.
Okay, so I looked up to see who came first, Genghis Khan or King David, and what came up was King David was Genghis Khan. Somebody says because of rumors, lack of reliable information, and wishful thinking on part of European Christians, like you say, wishful thinking. It's like the historical events, personages, and of the period and geographical areas involved became interwoven into the legend.
That's why I'm telling you, you can't believe the internet.
No, you definitely can't believe that.
Oh, the internet will tell you anything.
Yo, that's amazing.
That's so crazy. But at least it hit on the fact that what Colin what you hold true to is that all of these stories that we read about that may or may not be confirmed is wishful thinking of European Christians.
They could just be everywhere. Maybe every time he went to Asia, he was like, "Call me Genghis." They're like, "What, David?" He said, "Nigga, I said Genghis. Genghis went out here. What's wrong with y'all? Listen close. I'm Genghis now. Let's go."
So when was Moses around? Moses. How many years BC was he?
Moses was around when fucking Egypt had grass.
So they said Moses was 1391 to 1270 BC. So basically, it went Moses was around, then Genghis, then David.
Wow. You never
look into it, but that's what I'm finding.
You never think of Genghis Khan being in the biblical time. You never think of that.
No, you don't.
No, because he was doing his own shit in Asia. But no, he tried to take over the West, but I guess he wouldn't have made it down to where the Jews were doing their thing.
I feel like also the Bible doesn't talk a lot about Asian people, do they?
No.
That's the thing. That's why, and he was Asian, so that's why I think like people like. See Asian, they're like, that doesn't go with the Bible times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anytime I see an Asian, I'm like, there's nothing religious about that. So, okay.
Yeah, that is.
Look,
weird.
I got Bruce Lee right over there.
You never think of that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think Asians were made back then, and now everything's made in China. No, but I mean like.
Because once they got started, they got cooking.
Yeah, no, but like
once they figured out the recipe for Asians, they wouldn't stop.
If you look, Israelis are Asian too. It's part of Asia. Right, we're not Asian. Yeah, Israel's part of Asia.
No wonder they say Genghis Khan was mixed up in that shit.
See, they'll be anything but black. They don't want to be black at all.
These
Israeli people, they're like, we're Asian. What?
We don't want to be Schwarzes, okay?
They don't even know what we're saying. These goyim, they don't even know what we're saying.
Oh my God! Jewish people found the loophole. Oh, we can't take that word. We'll make our own word.
Well, they did, right? Because when they were over at Europe, it meant man in all black. So the religious people were Schwarza.
It just means color.
It was like man in all black. And then when they went over and they saw black people, they're like, we got a new Schwarza in town. They're like, that is a Schwarza.
That's a Schwarza.
They're like, that's just a dude in all black. Yeah. This dude right here.
They're like, Shmuel, you're not a Schwarza anymore. That's a real one.
And he's like, oh, thank God. Walks away.
Oh man, so yeah, Israel's a part of it. Like nowadays, I don't know back then what they.
Yeah, who knows
what was what, but nowadays Israel's part of Asia.
Yo, we do have to wrap it because this guy said he has to be in Richmond Hill, so you need at least like 40 minutes.
Yeah, probably I
Richmond Hill. Yeah. All right, no, that was pretty much it, anyways. So that worked out good. Sorry for the technical difficulties along the way, but thanks for hanging in there with us. Lior, do you have anything to promote yourself?
Podcast, Hasidish podcast.
What?
It's
whoa.
It's called the Hasidish podcast.
You gotta get something easier to spell. How do you spell that?
CH.
Oh my God! I thought it started with an H.
No.
CHA. Look how much trouble you're having with it.
Hasidish. Anyways, listen. I have my TikTok is Lior618. I have my.
Do you post clips for the podcast on your TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe you'll be able to find
You'll
it.
Find it. I have a link on my Instagram. Instagram the same thing. Lior618 and
Lior. Lior Lior, not
Lior 618. Yeah.
But you spell it different on Facebook. You spell it LE, right?
On Facebook, no, I spell LI.
Yeah. Bro, why are you giving up his secrets, bro? He's Genghis some places, he's David other places.
True. Classic. Overall, your thoughts on? Did you learn anything new about King David today that you didn't already know, or was it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna read his books a little differently and be like, did you do that?
No.
Overall, yeah, product of the times. You know what I mean? Did he rape? Did he kill? Yes, maybe. Definitely killed. He definitely killed. He definitely killed.
Oh, he killed. Yeah. He killed. Yeah.
We don't know if he raped.
Killing somebody back then is like posting something on Instagram. It's like, how do you not do it? You gotta kill. You gotta kill. You gotta do it. How else do you connect with people?
The most.
You know what I mean? You walk up to a guy, yo, were you at the war? No, I wasn't there. Oh, okay. So I'm just covered in intestines by myself. You didn't kill nobody. Oh no, I was farming. Get the fuck out of here. This guy didn't kill nobody. I've had 6 wars already. This guy hasn't killed nobody. That was a problem back then. They didn't care about gay or straight. They were like, how many people have you murdered, bro? How many?
Holy shit. So I was looking up who's played King David in movies.
DMX.
DMX is on the list.
Like, what?
It Never Die Alone. What movie is that? In Never Die Alone. Huh. Anyways, I'll have to check that out. But
that's some black hacker that was like, King David, put DMX's picture in that bitch. Eat that.
Oh, there's a movie called David and Bathsheba. So I gotta check that out. See, then maybe that'll put it together.
What made you want to like talk about David? I'm just curious. Like, just like
you were coming over to cut my hair, and I was like, oh, we got a guy straight from Israel coming to cut my hair. I wonder if he and I saw you were on a Boss podcast recently. So I'm like, we should have Lior come be a guest. But I was trying to think who would be a good person in history to do with you.
Okay.
I thought you would know more about David. You read his book every day, but it seems like you didn't know all that much.
I gave you some details. I mean, whatever. Bro. I gave you what I had.
No, you're a great guest. You're a great guest. I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
Bro, Jam Easy, you know in comedy what we call it, too on the nose. He's on the nose. He's like Jewish guy, King David. Done. South African guy, Nelson Mandela. Done.
Oh, for sure.
Brown guy, Gandhi.
Let's get it. What are we gonna not have the people that are specifically on for that?
Listen, we're having a red-haired white guy when we do Malcolm X or something.
Why? Who would you want to do?
Am I on for the Hitler episode 2 or what?
Maybe. It sounds like, is that who you'd want to do in history? If I told you we're gonna do the pros and conquerors of somebody in history, who would you?
Hitler, really?
Great at speeches.
What?
Is he not great at speeches?
No, he's yelling in his speeches. The guy's all coked out.
How did he get the crowd so like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, so there was people that went to that speech that day that never in their life thought about killing a Jew, but they left like fired up about it.
I don't think he promoted killing Jews. He just did it.
Oh, really?
No. He wasn't like, we're gonna kill people.
Yeah,
he was just
like,
brainwashed. First it was like, oh, the money and they're responsible for like your economic situation.
Like, he would be saying that in speech, or he would be talking about.
That was like the way he got people to be okay with it. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna take their land. They have too much.
We all have an enemy.
They have too much land, so like people wouldn't question when you saw like them rolling up to take a Jewish person's house and like take them away. They wouldn't question it. They'd be like, yeah, because fucking they're not wearing a mask. Fuck that guy. Yeah, get him out of here. You're responsible.
Did you guys watch the movie Jojo Rabbit?
No.
Okay, so it's about a little kid and his imaginary friend's Hitler. It's very silly, but it's like it's pretty like crazy movie at the same time. Like, it's about the wartime. Obviously, it ends up Hitler being a bad guy. It's not about like.
You watch some wild movies. You're about to watch this one with Bashetta. Like, you watch some. This podcast is changing this guy. He's becoming a history.
That's what I'm asking. Like, what made him want to do this? I was curious.
Bro, he's a history buff now.
King David. Well, David, just in general, he's my favorite. He's my favorite character in the Bible.
Okay.
There was this like.
Still?
Yeah, no, his stories in the Bible are sick.
So you're okay with rape?
No.
Wow, this guy called him out. He said you're okay with it.
I think it's very possible that Bathsheba. I think it's very possible that Bathsheba was asking for it. No
way.
There's always two sides to a story.
She got Solomon out of it. I mean,
where's her book? Huh? Where's her autobiography? Huh?
It's apparently with In David and Bathsheba, starring Gregory Peck.
I want to hear her story.
I do.
Right?
I actually am interested in that movie, but it's probably way too old. He was in To Kill a Mockingbird too. Yeah, that guy's way old. Anyways, guys,
Cool.
I'm glad that you came today. Thank you for coming through, and that's another episode of Pros and Conquerors, the Bad Boys of History. You can find Lior at Lior618. I'm James at Jam_easy, and Colin at Colin's Process.
What's going on? Colin's Cummings. Yo, do you call it 618 because of the laws that you have to follow?
That's 613, if anything.
Yeah.
What's 618?
It was just
make it 613.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just when I made it.
Do it for your people. Do it for your
Wait. You made it, and then there was so many Liors that they just suggested Lior 618, and you
because
chose
when I grew up, I lived in that address, so I just.
Ooh. Wow, never forget where you come
There
from.
you
Look
go.
at you. That's nice. No, that's cool, man.
Like that?
That's sick. That's actually
crazy.
really sick.
Yeah,
So
when I
that's, like,
googled
one of the first
618,
houses
nothing.
I lived in
came
when
up.
I was a kid, and I always had a good memory of that place, and I always want to go back to that place.
Oh, sick. True. That's dope.
Wow.
I like that.
And I just kept it. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, why not?
Now you know my bank code too, but
Wow.
This guy's giving it up for you guys today.
no,
All right.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
All right, guys.
That's it. That's
Jam
it. That's
easy.
another episode of Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. Tune in
All right.
for more on history's greatest heroes and most controversial figures. We're talking about them, figuring it out. Peace.
Peace.
That was fun. The headphones kill my ears though.
Yeah, man.
Kill you too?
That's why I always wear a hat.
Thank you for listening to Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. And remember to participate on our Instagram and shit and all that good stuff and blah, blah, blah. Follow us on Instagram.